Healing and authenticity is the topic of today. Welcome. I am here in the very sunny and very warm south of France, and very soon we'll have my masterclass. And in preparation for that masterclass, let's say I really wanted to talk a little bit more about healing and authenticity in healing. And I wanted to challenge you a little bit on the topic and help you look a little bit more deeper into your own healing process, because we're all talking about that we want to heal and we want to feel better. But what does that even mean? What does that even mean? And so, very often, because we don't really know what that means, we find ourselves in all sorts of groups that are supposed to help us on our own healing process. Now, I challenge you to a duel here. Because what happens very often is that what we're doing has absolutely nothing to do with healing, and it's just more of another modality to add to our library of knowledge or skills or whatever. And so I'd really invite you to challenge yourself and push yourself a little bit deeper here, at least if you're this kind of person who is interested and a big believer in spirituality, but you want the real deal and not just the namaste and whatever. Real stuff, real healing. And so I wanted to ask you a question about whatever you are doing. So whether it is, yoga, or you're working with a spiritual healer, or whatever it really is, what often happens is that you are a little bit in the hands of this healer, and he's or she is telling you what to do, and then it's up to you to kind of follow this person's advice, and then that person will say, this is really good for this or that. Oh, is it? So what I want to challenge you on today is that question. Is it really good for you? Many of us are following all sorts of healing modalities and following gurus and online people or whatever, and we don't really know if the exercises we are doing are beneficial to us, completely neutral, or detrimental. And so I would argue that we don't really know half of the time, because there is that kind of this person knows and they have a superpower and you just have to follow them. And on the other hand, there is sort of, how can I say that? We kind of give our power away very easily to someone who tells us that they know how to do things. And then we find ourselves for years and years in healing modalities that are absolutely doing nothing for us. And I'm not saying that yoga and breathwork and tai chi and all of these things have no healing effects. They do. What I'm saying is be very careful following people telling you what to do, having absolutely no feedback loop from yourself. So, meaning you have to develop some skills of your own to learn to discern if something's really good for you or not. And you can do this, but it's most of the time a little bit boring and tedious, so most people skip this. And then years later, they're still not healing anything. And they're like, why? Well, because you haven't learned to discern if something is actually working for you or not. So how could you discern something like that? I'm not going to give you the whole exercise because you need to practice it. And there's a few rules to that. But it's quite simple. It's just you need to do it. But our consciousness and our emotions are in a way two sides of the same coin. When you become conscious, or better said, our consciousness and our energetic field. So if someone does something to you energetically, or if you do some exercise, you can energetically feel how that feels for you. Maybe the energy around you becomes more fluid, or maybe the energy around you becomes more tensed. Maybe you can see sort of colors. You have the ability to perceive your own energy field. And so you have the ability to perceive whether something is detrimental or not. And as I said, consciousness and your energy field, they are somehow two sides of the same coin. So you must become conscious of your own energy field. And this is not something we are learning in school, or I don't know where. We're not even learning that half of the time in our yoga classes and in our breathwork classes. And so the end point is here that we're doing things, and half of the time we're not even sure if this is good for us or if it's detrimental or beneficial. So I would challenge you that whatever you are doing, before you start your exercises, before you start your whatever it is that you're doing, sit with yourself a little bit and try to feel how your energy feels. Try to put your energy field into words. It feels very fluent. It feels very, hooky, and it's sharp. Maybe it feels heavy. Maybe you feel something in your throat. Maybe it feels, when you feel it, it feels kind of pinkish and loving. Maybe it feels confusing. And if you're not good at feeling your own energy, use your consciousness, because your consciousness and your energy are two sides of the same coin. And so you do the same thing after the practice. Feel. How do you feel after the practice? Don't just give your trust away to every single person who tells you that they can heal you. You must take it upon yourself to learn to discern your own energy and consciousness. That's what I wanted to say for today. So it's kind of short and smooth. I really, really want to urge you to come to the masterclass 2, 4, or 6 June. I'm almost completely full. So if you still want to join, you can still sign up. And it would be a pleasure for me to have you there. I'm actually even thinking if I shouldn't open a few more spots for all the days, but I will think about that. I will feel with my own energy field if that feels good for me or not. Because at the end of that session, after you've got the knowledge and the tools for your own step forward, and also your own remedies for your own step forward, there will also be a Q&A where you can ask me anything you want. And in order to do that, I can't have 50,000 people joining, so that's why it's also limited. So that's really the only thing I wanted to say for today. Don't just give your power away. You have more discernment and more responsibility, and you have more self-knowledge than anyone over you. And you should use that to your advantage. And developing that beautiful relationship with yourself, it does take time. But if you're really serious about healing, if you're really serious about that relationship with yourself, this is something that you could totally do. And I recommend you doing it. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you found this interesting, please share it with someone. Hope to see you very soon in the masterclass, A New Approach to Healing. Move past what's been keeping you stuck. And if you're interested, you can also have a look at my course or at the private guidance that I give online. And I'll be so happy to see more of you. If you want to support me for free, totally free, you can let another video run. You can watch another video or listen to it while you're doing the dishes. And that means a lot to me as well. And so YouTube can understand that people value what I'm doing and can share it with other people like you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I loved making this video, and I'll see you in the next one.